Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here, and today we're going to talk about effective management techniques. In particular, we're going to discuss how to deal with your team. If you like this content and you want to keep seeing more videos from me, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. When we talk about effective teams, we really need to understand the different needs of the people on our team. And in order to do that, we can use an effective technique that helps us determine what each team member's needs are and how we can best address those needs. Today, let's just talk about a simple breakdown or framework on how you can look at your team from a different perspective and find out who these people are and what they expect from you. All right, so let's get started. In order to use this framework, we're going to give labels to the different groups that will usually be on your team. So we have an A team, we have a B team, and we have a C team. Now, let's talk about these different teams. In your A team, these are the people who are the highest performers. Maybe they've been on your team the longest. Maybe they have a very clear understanding of what their position is. They're doing great work, and you've been delegating to them bigger responsibilities so they can start building bigger skills because they're on track to be promoted to the next level. They're working really well. And the one thing that you want to do with them is make sure they stay engaged and that they feel like they're working towards their goals, what they've set for themselves, and that you have those opportunities lined up for those people. Your B team is going to be one of your bigger teams. And it involves 3 levels of people inside a B team. There could be people who've been there a long time and they're now trying to figure out where they're going to go next. They're asking for bigger responsibilities and they're trying to build their skills to be into that A team category. They want to be people that move into a higher level so they can get considered for a promotion. These people have a career trajectory. They understand where they are and they understand where they need to go and they understand what they need to do to build those skills. Hard workers. You have your second level in your B team are those who are really the workhorses. They got used to the position. They know exactly what their job is and they're very happy for the next couple of years to build their authority and build their expertise and build their experiences inside the company. They are fine where they are because they're just navigating this space and they're finally finding a nice methodology to the work they're doing. Then you have these B players who probably just came up from the C level. They're just getting used to their position. They're just getting into synchronicity. They're just starting to find what their talent really is, and they're getting used to it. So the B team is going to be a very diverse, broad team, a group of people you're going to need to manage for their expectations. But for the most part, they're happy where they are, and they're just getting used to their job. The C team. You might have 1 or 2 people on the C team. These people require work. In learning how to delegate with these people, it's about making sure you're giving them something that keeps them engaged and that you're watching how they're learning. Because for one, a C player could very well be somebody who just got hired and it's their first year there. And they're taking on a lot of responsibilities or they're getting used to what they've just been assigned. And you're watching them carefully because you need to start building trust with those people. So you're going to give them assignments, you're going to help delegate to them where you feel they can handle it, and you're going to stay very close to them to make sure they're being successful. One of 2 things could happen with C players. Either they end up growing and evolving and moving into the B team. Those are the new hires, the ones that are excited to be there, who catch on quickly and then move right up into a B team. Or you have C players who have really struggled. They're not able to catch on, and they very well could slip into below C. And your D team is, you really don't want to have or nurture a D team. Those are people, if you have them there, then they're just being held there until you figure out how to get them out. They have to either leave the department because they are totally unqualified for the job they're doing, or they've become disruptive and they're not working out and you're going to have to remove them from the company. They're on their way out. So it can go either way. So you really want to manage those people. So here, let's take a step back also and understand. Obviously, when you're working with your A team, you have people who are doing excellent work, and most of it is to stay engaged with them as they move through their career. If you have B players and a B team, this is a big team. This is a group of people who are doing excellent work, and you just have to manage expectations because they have a timeline of how long they want to be there. And then your C players are either people who are just coming in to come up, or people who are struggling a little bit and need some hand-holding. Now, I did create a great video about delegating, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what it means to delegate to each one of these groups. Now that you've identified who you have on your team, what you really need to do is understand how to delegate and what's going to be the most effective way of delegating to each one of them so that you can get the most out of your team. Now, with your A team, you're going to delegate bigger responsibilities. You get to look at what's on your plate, identify the few people that you know are now rising stars, and ask, what do I have on my plate that would be considered my level of responsibilities, and what can I give those people so they start to feel like they're doing the work for the job they want, right? Because many times we get considered for a promotion if we're already doing a number of the responsibilities that are required for that job. So you're setting them up to now be prepared for the job they're looking for. In addition, you really don't need a lot of hand-holding. They are starting to do bigger and better work, but they're quite competent. So most of the delegating is going to be checking in with them to see how they're doing and see if you can answer any questions they may have. Now, for the B team, you absolutely want to be there with delegating responsibilities and asking. This has a lot to do with checking in with your B team and asking them, how are you doing? What are your expectations? Where are you struggling? Because these people need empowerment. They need to feel like they can reach out and ask for help if they need it. They don't want somebody to constantly watch over them and feel like they're being micromanaged. This is a very specific group of people who are looking for autonomy and empowerment. They're trying to build their strengths and their skills so they can either be proficient in their position or work their way up into an A team type of situation. This is a group of people who are definitely going to look for how they can trust you and how you can trust them, and to what degree you can give them responsibilities where they'll feel like they're doing great work. Now, with your C team, we're talking about making sure that you're delegating and being in front of them more often. So you can see how your ability to delegate and your ability to decide how you're delegating as you go down your teams makes a difference. These C team people are the ones who need a little bit more hand-holding, especially, for example, if they're new and they're not sure they got the systems right, they're going to ask, oh, I see where I made a mistake here. Or someone's going to come forward and say, this person's not doing the procedure properly. Maybe you'd want to review with them again. Those are the type of people who just need a little bit more attention. What's a great way of doing this? Assigning a B player into the C team and saying, can you shadow or mentor this person? Can you show them your method? Can you show them the best way to do this job? That's a great way of using your teams. Another way is to say, I'm going to start delegating, because this is an effective delegating technique, is I'm going to delegate something to you, but I'm going to be very involved in it. So you're going to copy me on all of the correspondence. You're going to check in with me once a week as you continue to grow. And I'm going to make sure that you fulfill this entire project successfully, because I don't want you to fail. And that person is just going to have like training wheels for that particular project until they feel like they can do it on their own. This requires you to also track and make sure that you understand where they're struggling, because there could be a number of things happening here. I talked to a client who said one of my C team people was promised a promotion and didn't get it, and for the past year he's just not showing up and doing the work. And I said, well, do you think he'd be a good candidate for a promotion? He said, yeah, back then he was a good candidate for a promotion, and now he just shut down. And I have no choice but to put him in this C category. Okay, you need to reconnect with him and ask him, what's it going to take for you to re-engage with us so that we can get you back on track for this promotion? Because obviously this person's been disappointed. So there's going to be a number of different reasons why a person could be in a C team. And you're going to have to figure out by asking some pretty pointed questions of these people, where are you struggling and where do you need help from me? And it's not the same as person in a B team who says, where you ask them, where do you need help and how can you leverage me to get you successful, right? Those people already know how to be successful and they may need a little help. These people on the C team don't know how to be successful. So they're going to need to ask you, can you help me along on this journey? Here's where I'm struggling. And that's going to be the test. You're going to know you have really good people on your C team if they're asking you for help and they're admitting where they're struggling. That's the difference between ones who can be groomed for bigger things and ones who may be stagnant and could be falling off. Now, in terms of being engaged with each of these teams, you have a better understanding of how to deal with each person. Why is this important? Why is it relevant to how you can lead people effectively? And you could be watching this video saying, I wonder where I fall in these categories in the team where I work now. It's very important for you to start understanding and asking open questions with the people you work around or with so that you have a better understanding where you fall in these frameworks. If you're an employee and you feel like you've been working really hard as a B team player, then you want to start asking your boss, where am I going next? What's my timeline? And what am I headed towards? And if you're an A player and you're struggling with having conversations about where you're going next, you have to ask for what you want. Now, as a boss, as a person who's a people manager, and you've now decided to categorize each person on your team into one of these different teams, you get a better understanding of their needs and how you can respond to them effectively. It reduces conflict. It reduces confusion, mixed messages, miscommunication. It reduces conflict among them as well. And it creates a better system for you to find productivity and better time management. Why? Because you're now assigning projects based on categories of strengths, and you're able to engage with them and ask them specifically what they need from you depending on the team where they fall. This is going to allow you, one, to have better conversations with them when you check in with them, two, have better expectations of what they want for the year and what you can give them in terms of career advancement. And then three, have smoother performance review conversations. Nobody likes performance review conversations, and especially the people who have to write the performance reviews and deliver the message. So the more you're in front of these people earlier and having more conversations during the year, the more likely you'll be able to create an honest performance review and show how each group of people on your team is working to the next level. It gives them something to work towards. Even if they're all the same position, you can have a whole team of engineers, but they're all going to fall in different categories of work output. And when you do that, put them in these different categories, you have a better understanding of needs and expectations and how you can show up. All right, so that's it for this video on how to manage your teams effectively. We talked about splitting up each group into 3 teams, your A team, your B team, and your C team. A team players are the ones who are really engaged and working on the next level for their career. B players are the workhorses. Those are the people who are doing their best work right now, and they're holding steady until they figure out what they want to do next. And your C players could very well be new, still learning, or people who are just struggling a little bit and not sure if this is the best place for them. Regardless, you want to pay attention to your C players to make sure they feel supported. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.